Hey guys, this is going to be another informational video related to knife making, but more specifically this one's actually going to be about tool making or building your own tools for making knives. And just going to give a few quick thoughts before I give some examples of tools that I have personally made. And one of those is being that building your own tools can definitely be a very rewarding experience. It's something you could take a lot of pride and satisfaction in. Knowing that a tool that you're using in your shop on a regular basis is something that you've built with your own hands. I think it's even more satisfying just to know that you were able to use that tool, which you had a vital part in creating, to create even more things, such as custom knives, additional tools, or otherwise. Another advantage that I've seen as I've built my own tools is that often you can really save quite a bit of money by building a tool yourself over purchasing one off the shelf. And another advantage even could be that you can customize things a little bit more since you're starting from scratch. And it's really just a lot of fun and something that you can really fill a lot of time with. But along those same considerations, there's also some drawbacks that need to be considered. Going back to time, you really need to figure out how valuable your time is worth versus what you're putting into the tool or saving by building it yourself. It has been said in the past that a knife maker can't work by the hour, or at least you're not getting paid by the hour. If a lot of knife makers really figured out the amount of money they made per hour, when they added it all together at the end of the day, they probably wouldn't want to make knives anymore, to be honest. That being said, your time still is valuable, whether it's worth $5 an hour or $100 an hour. That's something you can't get back, and that's definitely a consideration that needs to be made when you're weighing the various options of whether you want to build a tool or not. Another thing you need to realize is that not all tools can be built for cheaper than they can be purchased. Sometimes it really just isn't worth the financial investment, especially when considered with the time or the labor investment. But that's something you definitely have to weigh among your own self and figure out for yourself. And you also maybe want to consider whether or not you can buy that tool on a secondary or used market for cheaper than you can build it as well, because often that is the case. If you're patient enough or look around enough, you'll probably find a tool that you're wanting for quite a bit cheaper used than it would be new, or that it would be to build yourself. Another thing, and probably one of the more important things you really want to consider, is what are you exactly needing or expecting from this tool, and are you going to be able to meet those requirements by building it yourself? Some tools in a knife shop definitely require a large degree of precision or accuracy in order to function or to work properly, or in order to get what you need out of them. And not every knife maker or fabricator can see those results if they build their own tool using the tools or the methods that they have. Another thing you also must consider is just how comfortable or knowledgeable you are, both with the building process of the tool as well as using that tool in general. Some tools, if you don't have a lot of knowledge on the subject or on the tool in general, really can be quite dangerous to try to build yourself as well as to use yourself if it's something you have built. And I would definitely recommend, if you're uncomfortable, unsure, or unskilled in any methods that might be required to make or use a tool, you really need to consider just investing the extra money into one that's made professionally, just because of the safety risks and those factors there. For instance, my heat treating oven, when I was building that, I did have to deal with some pretty high voltages. And just using it in general can be quite dangerous. There's some very high heat, very high voltages, and other risk factors involved, which was something that I was comfortable with, something that I was knowledgeable enough about. But if you really don't know anything about wiring equipment up, working with voltages or other electrical components, things of that nature, you really should consider, one, either consulting a professional, or two, just buying a pre-manufactured oven that's a little bit more user-friendly. That being said, I think I've pretty much covered the main considerations if you're going to be building your own tools. Those are things you need to weigh for yourself, whether or not the time and money investment is worth it, whether or not you will be able to complete that tool or build it to use for your specifications or requirements, and whether or not it would be maybe safer or wiser to just buy it rather than building it. But I'm running out of time here, so I really want to get into some of the specific tools I've made, maybe give some price breakdowns and just my thoughts on those. And for most of these tools, you will be able to find another video on this channel or my old channel that more specifically break the tools down or give an overview about them. So please keep that in mind. But let's get started with my heat treating oven. This was one of the first tools I built as I was getting into knife making. I designed it and built this myself using various resources online, talking to other knife makers and other industry professionals in the refractory or oven building fields. And I probably have about $500 to $600 invested in this, and I believe it's just about every bit as good as one that I would probably pay at least $1,000 to $1,500 for off the shelf. Granted, it's not as pretty. It might not have the most advanced controller that can be swapped out and changed, however. But it was just a lot of fun to make. I did save quite a bit of money by making it myself, and I really could have built it for much cheaper than the earlier price that I quoted had I been a little more strict on my materials and maybe went with some cheaper options that I kind of upgraded just for my own benefit. Another tool that I built, this was definitely one of the most useful tools in my shop. One of the first tools I built is my belt grinder using plans from Tracy Mickley at usanifemaker.com. And this is one that I definitely saved quite a bit of money over buying one off the shelf. That would be an equivalent tool. It's very versatile, has a lot of functions, and again, I have about $500 to $600 invested in this. As opposed to maybe $2,000 or $3,000 for one off the shelf. So definitely some considerable savings there. Another tool that I use quite a bit is my electric etcher. I built that myself using plans, I believe from Chris Crawford's website. Pretty straightforward. Again, it's one of those tools, so if you're not comfortable with that type of thing, such as electronics or electrical work, you might be better off to invest in a pre-manufactured one. But I think I put about $40 into this, and I would say it's equivalent to maybe one that I would pay $100 to $150 for off the shelf, and I get very good results from it. Use it all the time. Go ahead and show one more tool, just as an example of maybe a cheaper tool that not everyone might think of making, and that's a center scribe for marking the centers of your knife blades. I think I have about $5 to $10 invested in this. Made it pretty quick one day. It was fun to make. I do use it quite a bit, and that's probably equivalent to maybe a $30 or $40 knife scribe that you would buy from a knife supply. And I've actually seen them for quite a bit more from custom knife makers. So definitely a tool that just about anyone can make. If you can make a knife, you can definitely make one of these. And those are just a couple examples of the tools I've made. I'm not even talking about jigs or other things or other accessories for my tools. I really don't have enough time left in this video. But I really just wanted to give my perspective on building your own tools, just some benefits of doing so, as well as some considerations that really need to be taken into account. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Definitely feel free to leave comments or questions if you have any. Feel free to rate or subscribe if you've not already. And there's plenty more of these videos to come, so please stay tuned, and thanks for watching.